me start by thanking our host, His Excellency the Minister of Youth, Culture and Communication, Mohammed Nadi bin Said, for welcoming us and inviting us to the cultural capital of Rabat, of the continent, as we commemorate and celebrate the end of what I believe has been a very good and rewarding exercise over the last few months. Let me also thank the governing people of Morocco for giving us the warm hospitality since we arrived here in Rabat. Listening to all the various comments and speeches made, and looking back at the continent and seeing how culture is treated, one would think that trying to say that it is about time that we garner the collective resources of all of us, member countries of the African Union, to mainstream the issues of culture. Because culture, in our mind, provides not just for the human capacity and development of individuals, but also a collective sense of belonging to one another. Through the various kinds of cultures we practice in our respective countries, we find uniqueness and oneness in how we live, what we do, how we interact with one another, and how we find joy, peace, and happiness in the exercise of our respective cultures. To this end, we believe that if we put together, regionally or perhaps continentally, we can bring to fore the issue of making culture part of Africa's overarching goal of promoting its brand as one of, if not the best of continents across the world. We have lots and lots to show and to showcase to the rest of the world about how Africa can be that shining example of the best of the world. When you look back several years ago, when Africa was given the opportunity through South Africa to host the prestigious World Cup 2006, Africa came together through South Africa and showed the rest of the world our rich and unique cultural heritage. And I believe that if we continue these kinds of synergy, and let me add, this is quite another opportunity for all of us to look back at how we can now move a step forward in putting forth the agenda for improving and enhancing culture on the continent, and particularly looking at the issue of resource sharing, technology sharing, through the areas of training, through the areas of collective advocacy for strong legislations on the continent, making sure that when we have the opportunity to celebrate, we'll celebrate collectively as opposed to individually. Morocco has shown quite a good example, bringing all of us here to the bar to celebrate the closing of the celebration of the commemoration of Rabat as the city for the African Culture 2022. I want to think that most of the time in our respective countries when we celebrate Africa Culture Day, we do it internally. Let's now think about how especially we can bring together neighboring countries. If Liberia is celebrating, why not Liberia invite Guinea and Sierra Leone and Ivory Coast? Likewise, other countries. If we start in these kinds of niches, perhaps a stronger bond can be forged in terms of how we want to proceed to ensure that culture takes its mainstream as one of the development pillars of the continent. That said, Liberia remains committed to all of the issues raised here and will support efforts at ensuring that culture takes its rightful place with respect to the issues of the African Union and other regional bodies. On behalf of His Excellency Dr. George Weah, President